You're doing your hair like Ned Stark right now. And Arya later in the season.
Yeah, but it's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty lit. And Jon Snow.
Jon Snow.
Jon Snow's doing that hair, dude.
Jon Snow. Hey, thanks for watching our show this week. This week we're going to be talking about something that's actually kind of in the forefront of people's what they're seeing right now.
It's stupid.
It is stupid, yes.
It's let's just start with that. It's just straight up dumb.
It is stupid, but for the reason why I want to bring it up and talk about it this week is for I'll get into it in a second, but I want to explain what we're talking about first. Is the Earth flat? The flat Earth theory. What I'm bringing up is one of the big YouTubers, Logan Paul, which he's very controversial. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of people only know him for the one thing that he did that was wrong. You know, we're not going to bring it up. Everybody knows what we're talking about. But he's done a lot of things besides that. Okay. Why I want to talk about this. Yes, there's a lot we could talk about.
There's a lot
about that issue, about the flat Earth and all that stuff.
Just also in general, there's a lot we could talk about.
What I want to talk about specifically,
which you haven't told me yet, I don't know what we're talking about.
The reason why he did it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Joseph has not watched it.
Nope.
So it's been a couple weeks now since he came out with the first video, the flat Earth theory video, and in it, how he promoted it like, this is the flat Earth theory, and I'm starting to believe this theory. So the reason what he did was he came out with he said, I'm starting to believe it now. And all these media companies and people, they caught hold of it. And they're like, Logan Paul believes in the flat Earth theory. He's stupid for believing in a flat Earth theory. But then when you watch the video, it's him making fun of the flat Earth theory. So what his purpose is, and he just came out with a video about a week now.
Which video? Was it the first one?
The first one was him making fun of the theory.
The second one?
The second video was him just talking, explaining why he did this. And essentially, it's this. Since what happened to him last January, where everybody knows he went to the forest and everybody hates him for that, he's gotten a lot of backlash.
Yeah.
And to where everything he does, he feels like he's being criticized for way over the top, even more than he should, because people just want to criticize him because he did that. And I understand it was wrong what he did, but he feels like he's just getting attacked still because of that, even though he's apologized and all this stuff. So what he did was, he wanted the media he promoted it like he was a flat earther. Mm-hmm. And then when the video came out and said he wasn't, he was making fun of it, before the video came out, everybody's like, he's stupid for believing that. And then we realized, oh, he really doesn't believe that. It's basically making the media eat their own words, basically saying, oh, he's not stupid in believing that.
Did he point out that probably the majority of the media did not come out and say that he was not a flat earther afterwards when he said that he wasn't? Did he point that fact out?
Well,
are people coming back and saying, okay, he actually is not a flat earther? Or are they just letting it hang and not returning to it because they found out it was a joke?
Well, I think a lot of people are just ignoring it because they're like, oh, he bested us, you know?
Yeah.
Because essentially what he was trying to do is having
words.
Them say, oh, he's stupid for believing that, but then have him say, well, I'm really with you, and I don't believe it, and it's making them eat their own words, basically. They're trying to criticize him for something that he really believes, just because he's trying to prove the fact that
they're criticizing for something he doesn't actually believe.
Yeah, because they're trying to find something to criticize him about, and he's trying to prove to them, you're just criticizing me for no reason.
You're just trying to find something.
Yeah, does that make sense what I'm saying?
Yeah. Was there any other information about these videos?
I mean, there was a lot where, and I don't know I don't believe in the flat Earth. So, in it, he kind of went to a real flat Earth convention, and he was making fun of them and stuff, but he was trying to be in character while he was there.
Like
and
he
then,
was actually believing it?
Yeah, he actually... There's a scene where he went up on stage and said, I think I'm coming out of the flat Earth closet.
Which is what he put in his teaser.
Yeah. And essentially, that was real. He went up on stage and made everybody at the convention believe that that was true. And then once he left the convention, he just was like, I don't believe in this. I only got up on stage to kind of play the role of a flat earther.
Yeah. Okay, so do you think that this charade that he's done to catch the media and to catch other YouTubers, just anyone who's just wanting to criticize him, do you think that this whole charade has done what he wanted it to do, which is for people to stop judging him so hard or to stop criticizing him at every chance they get and hold their mouth until they have all the information? Or do you think it's not of any consequence, it doesn't actually affect what he wanted it to do?
I mean, I think it is a step in that direction. Now, I think the Logan Paul is very controversial in stuff, even if it's not them criticizing him for that reason, why he wanted them to kind of put an end to that.
Yeah.
He does stuff every single day that people don't like him for.
Yeah.
So even before this thing happened last year, people didn't like him because of what he is. He's a lot different. So I do think it was a step in that direction. And what is your thoughts on this whole thing? I know you said you didn't really watch it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's best for him. Honestly, I have no solid opinion about any of this. I would say if I was in his position, which I have no idea where he is mentally, because I'm not him, obviously. I don't know how his brain works. And also, I've never been in a situation where I literally receive hate from the entire world. So I don't know where his mind's at. I don't know what he does. I would probably be tempted, if I was in his position, to do the same thing, to just point out the hypocrisy. And even if it didn't make a difference, that I'd want to do a charade
I think it was a really smart move, being like, oh, he's trying to do this, he's trying to do this. People even accuse him, and he kind of is ripping off Shane Dawson's documentaries and all this. But essentially, the core wasn't for that. It was so he can prove a point.
Yeah.
On top of making a good video, getting content, getting people to watch it, because it's something that's going to be in the forefront of media and all this.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what my thoughts are there, because it was just a big trick. That's all it was.
It was.
And my first thought, actually, which is something that I don't want to present as a thought, but I will explain what's happening in my thought process, is was it a right move to essentially kind of play dumb and in a way stoop to their level of the people who do believe in flat Earth? But again, that's just me putting him back in the seat of being the at-fault party. You know what I mean? So my first reaction is okay, is he essentially making an entire community of people who, in my opinion, are genuinely ignorant? You know what I mean? And honestly, some of the things that I've heard them say, I know that always the dumbest stuff surfaces because people like to hate on things. It's the same thing with religion, with politics, all of the stupidest stuff that people want to say, hey, this is why, if you believe this is dumb, always surfaces to the top. But there's just so much evidence against the flat Earth theory, and it's so bizarre and out there. There's so much technology, there's so much stuff you have to believe in order to believe that theory, that it's just ridiculous overall. But I don't want to say, was he wrong for essentially acting like those people and acting ignorant and then coming behind and being like, I'm not really that ignorant. All these people believe this are ignorant, and I think I'm painting a picture that they're dumb for believing this because I'm not associating with them and make it like a big thing. I want to say like maybe he wasn't being sensitive to those people as human individuals, even though they are incredibly mentally misinformed or choose to be misinformed. But at the same time, that's just me finding something. It's like saying, Logan Paul, okay, let me just look in every situation and figure out what did he do that's wrong, and I'm going to bring that to the surface. This is what's going on in my mind. I don't want to say, like, he did something terribly wrong by this whole action. I don't think he really did anything wrong. But again, because there's a stigma of making him look like a bad guy constantly, even through this process, you can still pull things out of it like that. That's like that's making him look like the bad guy when that's what the whole thing was about. Him being accused of being the bad guy constantly, or being, dumb, or just anything that you want to call it. So these are my thoughts. I don't really think I'm that invested to really care to have an opinion, but yeah, I don't think he's wrong in any way for doing it. But at the same time, I don't know.
I mean, I think you're right. Like, people are kind of judging him, and I don't have any ties with it either. But I think it was a brilliant
ties with him.
Well, I'm saying, not with that, but I'm saying I don't have any opinion either. But I think it was kind of a brilliant move in his part to kind of play the media against themselves.
And the thing is, like, everyone has these ideas. It's like, yeah, that would be so cool if it's like almost a movie. I can catch them in a lie, or I can catch them in doing the exact thing that I'm going to prove. And it worked. It's almost like perfect the way it worked out, which is in a way brilliant, because that's the kind of stuff you see in movies, that you play a trick on someone, they fall for it, and then you can publicly shame them for falling for that trick. That's stuff you see in movies, not so much that you see in everyday life. And so that he was able to pull that off on a large scale is pretty impressive, So yeah, that's stuff you don't see every day.
Yeah, I mean,
that's interesting.
That's just my thoughts on it for this week. That's all I have to say. Is there anything you else want to say about it?
I don't know. We can talk about the flat Earth theory for a few minutes. we talked about. Okay, I will say this about the flat Earth theory. Moving away from what Logan Paul did, because he brought up the whole flat Earth theory. There are some appealing things about flat Earth theory. Mm-hmm. Cool ideas that I think would be awesome if they were true.
But
you know what I mean?
Are they true?
Obviously not true. Like I believe I heard this one person. I don't know the words that they use, the technical lingo, which I know that's like a big part of it. They want you to use like the correct language and everything. But like some of them believe that like there's like a rock wall or whatever, of ice that is like the North and South Pole, but it's essentially a big actual circle wall that's surrounding our continents that we know as the world. And then there's a world beyond that. You know what I mean? That's why we can't find the edge of the Earth, because we're only in the very center of this huge disk, and we can't get past this big ice barrier that's between us and the rest of the world beyond where the edge of the Earth comes to.
I mean,
there's some interesting theories. If that was true, and to know there's other lands that still have to be discovered beyond the ice walls and stuff, that'd be a pretty cool thing. Obviously, it's not true.
Yeah.
But there are some appealing thoughts about it. I mean, it's almost something that's like, in a cool, adventurous story that is fascinating, and you want to believe that those things are true because you just want some adventure and excitement in the real world. And it's not that there isn't excitement and adventure in the real world, but you just want something that's other. You want something that's like, Middle Earth or Game of Thrones, or something like, Secret Worlds like in Harry Potter, or something that's like...
Or Narnia.
Or Narnia, that's like you have yet to explore and no man has touched it, or something like that.
Yeah.
You just want to believe those kind of things because it's exciting. And that's all that I was thinking. That's something that every time I think of flat Earth, I think of that, because I heard someone bring up that theory that it's like, this is a serious theory that we think is probably a possibility because we can't find the edge of the Earth, and so we've never hit it, and so it must be a lot bigger than we think, and there's other worlds beyond what we know.
Mm-hmm. The fear of the unknown, or not fear, but the people of the unknown just think of the unknown. So yeah.
I mean, you can have fun theorizing all day about what you would think would be cool or what you think would be possible. Vsauce did a video about if the Earth was flat, what would actually be like, and it's something interesting that he said. I called him Vsauce. Michael is his name. Vsauce is the name of the channel. But he said that if the Earth was actually flat, if you took everything into consideration with the gravity pull and everything, it would actually feel more like a bowl than a flat disc. And so as you got closer to the edge, did you see this video?
I haven't. No.
As you got closer to the edge, it would be like you're climbing a mountain, and as you're almost to the edge, it would actually be like straight, like you wouldn't even be able to get to the top. But once you actually got to the top, it would be like you stepped off of a 90-degree surface. You know what I mean? And like, this is the whole Earth that's a giant bowl that's almost uncomprehendable in being able to see, but it is like a bowl. And when you stepped off of the mainland, it wouldn't actually be a drop off. It would actually be flat because it would be like you're climbing a mountain.
Yeah.
So that's what he would say. That's what he said, trying to pull science and everything into it to say this is actually what it would be like according to the basic laws of nature and everything if the Earth was actually flat.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess just another theory is just the wonder of the unknown.
Yeah. But we do know.
Oh, yeah. The Earth is round.
And not a round, flat plate. It's a ball. It's a globe.
Yeah, and not a flat one
Obviously,
either.
Just so you know where we stand.
Yeah, so that was just our opinion for this week. We just wanted to talk about that a little bit because it's in the forefront of what people are talking about. And so, just a conversation. So,
yeah,
if you have any theories, put them in the comments below.
Or thoughts. Or if there's something interesting about the flat Earth theory that you think we would be interested in hearing about. Because it is an interesting topic, even if you don't believe it.
Yeah. So, thanks for watching this week.
We'll see you next week.
Yep.